Welcome back. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. We've got it going on for you. You can kick off your shoes and relax your feet as we so often have you do if you want to. Our next guest is an illustrator, an artist, an educator, and now an author. Beautiful. She's here to speak to us today about the Kickstarter she is initiating for her latest book, Eggie's Adventures at Poe Cottage. It's a beautiful thing. And she's going to speak to us about the work she is doing to promote art in our community. So please welcome to the show, Laura Alvarez. Laura, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Laura, you are an author now. How does that feel? I mean, you're writing books, getting it out there, you're self-publishing.
I know. I have such a long list of adjectives in my name now that it's like, oh, you need to start choosing for like one.
That's okay. Just keep building, keep building, keep building, keep it going, keep it going. So tell us about the Kickstarter for the book. You have a book coming up?
Yes, I do. So Eggie started a few years back when I was working across the Poe Cottage. And I wrote it and I had the whole idea of the illustrations, everything set up, but then I kind of like set it apart and forgot about it. I didn't forget about it. It was in the back of my mind, but
yeah, you
I
just
never
put it
found
on the
the time.
back burner for a hot second.
Yeah, I was like,
a little while.
It's not the time now. It's not the time. It was never the time.
Yeah.
And the pandemic, I was like, oh, maybe I can retake that project and make it a real book, not just like a sketchbook that I had.
Yeah.
And I applied for a grant for the Bronx Council on the Arts, and I got it, but it wasn't enough to publish the book. So I decided to go with a Kickstarter and see if I can print it.
So, all right. So what do you need? You need
so
money.
my goal was $5,000 from Kickstarter, and I already reached it. Also, now I'm looking for the stretch goals that it would be to publish the book in Spanish too.
Oh, great. So you still need money.
Yeah. It's never enough.
How do we get you money?
So there's a website that you can go, the Kickstarter website. And if you look for Eggie's Adventures at Poe Park, you'll find the Kickstarter. It should be somewhere in the screen.
So you go to Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Kickstarter, and then you go to Eggie's Adventures at Poe Cottage.
Yes. And that's where you find the page that you can pledge money for something that I put in there. And the way this works is that you are pre-buying the book. You're not just giving the money, you're pre-buying a copy of the book or whatever on the listing it goes down. Like there's different options. Even you can donate books for certain places. It's you can buy books for a whole class. It's up to you on how much you want to spend.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the book. Just a touch.
So the book is Little Eggie. He's a squirrel and lives at Poe Park in the Bronx. And he realizes that his grandfather was Edgar Allan Poe's best friend. So at that point, he's like, oh, now I have to be able to like honor his name. That's why his name is Eggie, because he was named after Edgar Allan Poe. And he wants to be part of the museum that is at Poe Park, the cottage where Edgar Allan Poe lived. And he goes through some issues to be able to be part of that cottage.
Yeah. How did you come up with that? Were you just sitting on the bench at the park and you said, you know what?
Yes, I stared at the Poe Cottage for a few years while I was working across the museum at the visitor center. So, I was teaching classes and doing a lot of things, but framing, like it was always the background, it was the cottage. I did a couple of projects where I draw the cottage and I drew some of the poems from Poe, and kids used to color it and create little booklets. So the next step was a picture book.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you think kids are getting from the book that you've written?
It helps kids understand that you don't have to get things right at the first time you do them. it's fine to try and try again until you finally are able to do something that is right. And also, you know, when kids are young, they really want to help you all the time. You're cooking, can I help? Can I help? Can I help? And they most likely they're not gonna get it right, but there's still like there's ways that they can help and they can help us um, just like learn and live life. And that's how the book like really works. Is Eggie trying to be helpful, trying to be part of something, and finally making it.
So tell us, for those of us who want to get involved in helping you out with Kickstarter and everything, where do we go? How do we do it?
Yes, you go to the Kickstarter page and you go look for Eggie's Adventures at Poe Cottage. And the best thing you can do is to either get a book or get somebody a book that might want it. You can also get books for a whole class. There's pack bundles, and you can get books for Bronx bound books, and it will be donated in your name. So there's a lot of options you can get involved. And if you feel that you have some spare money, you can also donate money to the campaign.
There you go. All right. Is there a website?
Yeah, so if you want to get the book, you can go to the Kickstarter and look for Eggie's Adventures. And if you want to know also about myself and what I do, you can go to my website. It's lauraalvarez.com. It's just one A in between my name and my last name. And find me on Instagram and all social media. I'm usually Big Eyes World. So
There you go.
I'll see
Laura,
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Laura Alvarez, Eggie's Adventures at Poe Cottage Kickstarter. She's an illustrator, author, and she's doing her thing. Congratulations and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Laura, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you for all the work that you're doing in our community. Laura Alvarez, illustrator and author, Eggie's Adventures at Poe Cottage. She has that Kickstarter. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you for tuning in and checking it all out. And you can go to BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice, let your choice control the chooser. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. And thank you so much for letting us share in this space and time with you. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. We love you all. Peace.